Alright, so this decode is going to be on the death of Dick Gregory and how he died in the Masonic slash Vatican City, which is Washington, D.C. And, I just watched a clip, or not a clip, it was a video of him talking about the universal God, just the universe and indigo children. And I thought, some of the stuff he had to say was interesting and, you know, sometime in the middle of me watching that clip, I wanted to look up because I was pretty sure that he died, and he did. Um, and I wanted to see, if he went out, uh, suspiciously by the numbers. And of course, most times I do this, and it's yes, and whether they really die or not, or um, you know, you never truly know. But knowing this world, most likely he did. Um, scripted ritual sacrifice well, takes place all the time in this world, pretty much every day. I mean, but yeah. So I decoded his death, and there were some pretty compelling things. So I just wanted to do this, make this video real quick. So let's just get into it. So Dick Gregory, first off, he was a just a little background on him. He was a civil rights activist um, in his prime, in the 60s, and he was an author, a writer, excuse me, yeah, an author and a comedian. That's the other thing. He was a comedian, and we'll get to how all these things connect numerically. But anyways, so Dick Gregory died 311 days after his birthday, and 311 is the 64th prime, and the word kill equals 64. So right off the bat, I'm making that connection because, as I'll show further, I do think his death, he was probably killed to fulfill uh, this, where he died in the Masonic Vatican-owned city, which is Washington, D.C. Now, whether he lives there or was just visiting, I'm not sure, but you'll see how it's pretty concrete, how it connects to the date he died on. So whether he lived there or not, it's still pretty convincing that his death was scripted for the specific date he died on, which I'll get to. Anyways, okay, so he was a civil rights activist, like I said, and the term civil rights equals 64. And the Civil Rights Act was enacted in 1964, hence the official name, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Um, if you don't know history. But, anyways, he died on a date with 44 and 64 numerology. Yeah. And that corresponds with the gematria of kill having equaling 44 and 64. He was also a comedian. And comedian equals 44 and 64. I mean, what are the chances of this? Like, really, what are the chances of this? But anyways, he continued, or excuse me, as I continue, he ran for Chicago mayor in the 60s, in 67 specifically, in term Chicago mayor equals 64. And he died in, but hold on, before I get in that, let's just connect all the 64s back real quick and just truly ask yourself, is this a coincidence or does this seem scripted? Okay? Chicago mayor equals 64. He was a comedian. That equals 64. Kill equals 64. Civil rights enacted in 64. The term civil rights equals 64. Um, I mean, he died 311 days after his birthday, which is 64th prime. Again, connecting the kill equaling 64. I mean, what are the chances of that? I mean, come on, man. Like, people gotta wake up. You just gotta like run the probability on that, and right there, it just, with probability, it just shows that his death is very suspect. But anyways, and we'll only continue to show how it is scripted, more scripted. So he died in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. equals 137, just like the date he died on. So if you type in is exactly how you see on the screen, August 19th, 2017, that equals 137. I mean, in that right there, that's a really concrete point because, like I said, whether he lived in Washington, D.C. or not, or just visiting, whatever, they synced up where he died to a specific date. The one he died on, obviously. It's just, man, just sick how they do it. And his full name, Richard Claxton Gregory, equals 119, and the date he died on, August 19th, 2017, also equals 119. He died in the United States capital city, and the term capital city equals 119, and it's owned by the Vatican, and Vatican equals 119. I mean, just only strengthening my point. And the terms capital city and Vatican are a numerical match in 3 out of 4 of the base ciphers. So they don't match in like the same ciphers, but the numbers do, if that makes sense. So, continuing, Richard Claxton Gregory also equals 115, like killing equals 115. And his first name, Richard, just Richard, equals 47. And he was an African American, and the term African equals 47. Or you could say he was a black man. The term black men, not black man, but black men equals 47, which I made a connection to in my last post. And he fought against racism, and the term racist equals 47. He died at the age of 84, and the term dead at 84 equals 47. And here comes his death date, again connecting. His death date connects to too much for this, and that's my main point. Like, his death date connects to too much for this to be coincidence, for this to be whatever you want to say or try to make out. It's a scripted death, okay? I mean, it is a scripted death. There's just no, like, I can't fathom going around that fact, considering how much his death date connects to what I'm talking about. But anyways, so he died on August 19th, 2017, and that term also equals 47. And I'll get to the significance of that and the significance of the number 47 in light of where he died in Washington, D.C. here in a moment. But as I mentioned earlier, Dick Gregory ran for Chicago mayor, and it's reported by, hold on, let's see if I got it. It's reported by this site here, face2faceafrica.com. As you can see, that on election day he received about 47,000 votes running for Chicago mayor. Isn't that just something? You know? And you could say that maybe he was involved in this, he was a Mason and, uh, he was not truly who he appeared to be. Controlled opposition, if you will, if you want to say that. I'm not going to say any of that because I haven't researched him enough, but I'm just providing the numbers. I'm just connecting the dots with the numbers, providing the decode for you. But anyways, so yeah. I mean, really, received 40,000 votes on election day. while he ran for Chicago mayor. I mean, come on. Connecting to all the 47 connections that I've made so far, and you'll see it's only going to get, uh, I'm only going to strengthen this point. The number 47 is extremely important because it connects to the extremely Masonic city that is Washington, D.C., the one Gregory died in. And as the Masonic compass is set to 47 degrees, as you can see in the picture here. And all these terms connect to the Masonic city that is Washington, D.C. The terms capital city, White House, government, authority, president, Democrat, Republican, and Vatican, as the Vatican rules over the earth, but they use the Freemasons as their pawns, and the Freemasons are all over Washington, D.C. All those terms that I just listed equal 47. All those terms. And if you sum up the degrees of the Masonic compass and square, so you take the Masonic compass, which again, 47 degrees, and then the square at the bottom, 90. The math's on the screen for you. 47 plus 90, 137. This is important because all these terms equal 137. Government, authority, president, White House, Washington, D.C. And again, here we go back again, connecting to the date he died on, August 19th, 2017. I mean, really? I've just made too many concrete connections for anybody to write this off, you know. So he definitely see whether he lived in Washington D.C. or went there frequently, I'm not for sure. I just want to make that clear. But I will say, even if he lived there, the specific date of his death, August 19th, 2017, connects to connects to DC itself, as they both equal 137 in the same cipher. Here, I'll show the gematria real quick. I'm going to go fast on this one. But anyways, Washington, D.C. equals 137 in the same cipher that his death date does, August 19th, 2017. I mean, just look. Okay. Washington, D.C., 137, you see. And again, his death date right here in the same cipher. I mean, this stuff's just not an accident, you guys. But yeah, that's all I wanted to present. I mean, his death just definitely not anything coincidental. Definitely scripted to the city that he died in. Very Masonic and a very a very, I don't even know the word, very convincing that his death was cryptid, as the date he died on in gematria connects to too much to disprove. But that's all I wanted to say. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.